Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Batman. And no, your eyes do not deceive you guys. Those are fisted hands on his body. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. And if you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. With all of that out of the way, guys, once again we are going to be taking a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Batman. And like I said, guys, no, your eyes do not deceive you. Those are fisted hands on this Batman. Todd has finally begun to give us fisted hands with our figures. Unfortunately, it wasn't just a whole give on his part. He did take, and we will definitely be getting into that during this review, so stay tuned for that. So before we get into the figure, why don't we go ahead and take a look at everything that it does come with. It is a DC Multiverse figure, so it does come with, of course, a DC Multiverse stand with the little DC logo stamped in on it right there. And of course, as with all the DC Multiverse figures, he does also come with a DC Multiverse trading card. There's the front. Go ahead and flip it over, and you can pause the video and read the back if you like. But that's not all, guys. He actually does come with an extra pair of hands. So in the box, he does come with C-grip hands, and he comes with a fisted pair, on the side. But he also comes with another accessory, which is this kind of rope and batarang type of thing. And as you can see, I do have the C-grip hands attached to it already because they are a bitch and a half to open up and get this thing in. They are super tight, and obviously I could have probably just used a blow dryer, but yeah, once I got them on, I was like, you know what, I'm not taking them off. So yeah, they're super tight, but yeah, you get a pair of C-grip hands and a pair of fisted hands in the package as well. So that is it when it comes to accessories for this figure. So why don't we go ahead and pull him forward so that way we can take a nice closer look at him. So I was definitely super excited for this version of Batman to be released, and I have to admit, Todd definitely outdid himself with the sculpt. However, of course, it's a McFarlane figure, and it wouldn't be a McFarlane figure if it didn't have a bunch of downsides, because yes, he did finally give us those fisted hands like we've been wanting and asking for. But it wasn't a whole Todd giveth situation. It was a whole Todd giveth and Todd taketh situation. And I will explain and show you guys exactly what I mean. So he gave us those fisted hands, but he took away the double jointed elbow. And it's like, really? Batman is a brawler. He needs to have double hinge elbows. And it's not even a small thing. Like, he just can't get that nice tuck in his arm that you get with those double joints when you set up a figure in a fighting pose. Yeah, there's a big difference between being able to really tuck in that arm and what, I mean, it's not so bad on this one. On Superman, it's a lot worse, I have to admit, but still, I don't know why he didn't give us a double joint right here when he really could have. And the other thing he took away was, of course, the bicep swivel right here. Why would he do that? I have no idea. But yeah, but besides all that, other than that, this has to be the best Batman that Todd has done, in my opinion. It definitely has a great resemblance to the Dark Knight Returns Batman. And honestly, when I first saw it in hand, I was like, you know what? This one actually rivals the Mafex one. Then I saw the shitty single hinge elbows, the lack of bicep swivel, and I went from wanting to praise this figure to just wanting to curse it, because it's like, why would you give us the fisted hands, which we've been asking for a long time, but then take away double jointed elbows and bicep swivel? It just makes absolutely no sense to me. But besides that, it does look like a really good figure. However, it really just makes me want the Mafex version, if anything. Like, it just looks really good. And then when I realized the lack of articulation when it comes to it, I'm just like, you know what? I should just get the Mafex version for this at this point. I'm not really big on Mafex with the whole, hard plastic and soft goods cape, because I don't know, in my opinion, it kind of throws it off. That's why I prefer Mezco. It's all soft goods. But honestly, after messing around with this figure, I kind of want the Mafex version of this one. Like, that's kind of what this version or this toy has done for me. It was cool when I first saw it, but when I really started picking it apart and seeing, its flaws and everything, I was like, man, Todd really fucking dropped the ball on this one. He really could have had a great fucking figure on his hands with this one. But then he just went and took away some really key stuff. So other than that, it still is an absolutely gorgeous representation of the Dark Knight Returns Batman. Even the cape, even though it's this plastic, it still looks really good and kind of flows and fits well with this figure. It's just those little things. But anyways, guys, besides that, why don't we go ahead and move on into articulation. So his head will look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. You won't get too much up and down, so he won't really look down too much, and he won't really look up that much either. No real head tilt, really. He kind of just turns his head side to side. So there's that. He does come with a butterfly joint, thankfully. His arms will go out to a T-pose. His shoulders will rotate 360. Once again, absolutely no bicep joint. Single hinge elbows. Rotation at the elbows. Rotation at the wrist. Hinging in and out, up and down, whichever way you have that ball peg facing. Looking at his torso, you can rotate it at the upper portion and rotate it at the lower portion as well. However, he will not crunch down at all, and he will crunch back that far. So that's the biggest thing about these McFarlane figures, is that they have absolutely no ab crunch forward, despite having, ab cuts and everything. So I mean, it works for the rotation, but it's like, why not just dribble it down a bit so that way he can actually crunch down, rather than leaving it to us to take it into our own hands. So a quick fix for most McFarlane figures, if you want to fix the ab crunch, is just heating this up or dumping it in some warm water, popping the top part off the ball peg, dribbling a slight slit at the upper abdomen part right here that gets covered by the upper torso, and then you can get some ab crunch right there. But yeah, if you want to go through all that, you can. If not, you could just buy the Mafex version, which is another reason why I'm thinking I might as well just buy the Mafex version, but we'll see if I get there. But moving on to his leg articulation, he will kick out that far, which is pretty wide, so he can definitely join the cheerleading squad. This Batman has something that most McFarlane figures don't come with, and that is upper thigh swivel. He does kick out that far. He will kick back that far. Thankfully, he still does come with double hinge knees, probably because he rides a horse with the Build-A-Figure. Yeah, that's the other thing. He does come with Build-A-Figure pieces. However, I am not interested in building the horse. I'd rather wait for the Witcher McFarlane horse that's already put together. So I went ahead and gave my friend Robert my Build-A-Figure pieces. So that's why I don't have them in this review. I just don't care about the Build-A-Figure horse. I know I've learned in the past not to trust McFarlane Toys Build-A-Figures and just wait for the actual figure that's put together. Anyways, moving on to his ankle articulation, he will go down that far. It'll go up that far. And it does come with a ball rocker hinge joint right there, as well as toe articulation. So, like I said, all in all, I have some very mixed feelings on this figure, because as good as the sculpt is, as much as I love the way it looks, I just really wish it would have articulated a lot better. Like, why take away articulation that you've already given us? Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. He boasts about his articulation in his DC multiverse, yet he takes it away on this figure. It just makes absolutely no sense. The thing that makes absolutely no sense is that the Joker actually comes with double hinge elbows in this wave. Like, why does one figure in this entire wave only come with double hinge elbows? Because Superman doesn't. He comes with these single hinge, and it's just like, really? McFarlane is really fucking up at this point, because, like I said, besides those key points, they're very key, especially when you're trying to pose up this Batman, especially in comparison to the Mafex one. He really fucking dropped the ball there. I really was ready to praise the shit out of this figure because of the sculpt, the fact that he included the fisted hands, but then he takes away key articulation and it just kills it. Anyways, guys, with that being said, join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly Toy News Toy Talk podcast where we will go over all that is and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday on Instagram at CoolFigurez for Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest every week about toys, toy collecting, toy photography, and so much more. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics that I took of this guy. And if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, join me tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time, and have a great fucking day. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out if you like what you see. Leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of any figures I do reviews on for this channel, go ahead and check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all my unboxings. And join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much to this channel sponsor, CoolFigurez Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, Pokemon card, and toy print needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. CoolFigurez Store. Check them out, guys.